Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
I love the way we opened the program, compassionate responses for all these years, and we're not done. We have so much more advice to give to people. Thank you so much for joining us today on New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and we are going to be here for the full hour to talk to you, tell us what it is that's going on with you. We would love to hear from you. And here to talk with us today, we've got licensed professional clinical counselor Becky Brown, who's joining us online. Becky, it's going to be great to have you here in the studio with us in just a few weeks, but for now, this will have to do. I do have Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris in the studio with me, though. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist. Good to see you, Jacqui. What's on your mind today?
What's on my mind today is vicarious stress. There is a lot happening in the world around us. I personally tend to be a little highly sensitive. And so I personally have been intentional about how I spend my time, what I'm listening to. When my kids were little, there was this show on called Bad Girls Club. And I remember them wanting me to watch it with them. And I watched a part of an episode once and I was like, oh, absolutely not. Garbage in, garbage out. I cannot do this. And my husband and I were really lenient with what my kids watched and did. And it just created conversations for us to get to have with them. So we didn't say they couldn't watch it, but I just would always say, no, thank you. I just don't want that inside of me. And this was before I really understood psychology. And now I realize that it does something to you to take these images in and these sounds in and these words in, and to constantly be bombarded with negative information. And just you end up feeling like you're constantly on hyper alert and being hyper vigilant. And so I choose to be intentional about what I listen to. And I just want to encourage the listeners. There is so much great stuff on New Life. There are so many audible Bible, different versions of them, whatever your favorite music is. And so I just would encourage people that, yes, we do need to know what's going on in the world. And so we should be checking in and check your resources. Make sure that what the information you're freaking out about is actually true, first of all. But don't let yourself get so absorbed and wound up in what is going on in the world around you that you forget to take care of what is going on in you. And I want to just encourage people to, if you love scripture, find a devotion that you can spend time in. If you find yourself scrolling and you find yourself like in this doom scrolling where it's just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, set a timer if you're going to go on social media so that you don't go longer than 10, 15 minutes. You get a little information, you connect with some people in your circle, and then you go do something else. And so I just want to encourage people, you are not trapped here at all. You can choose to look at something different, to listen to something different, to talk to different people, to read. I encourage you to read and just find some good to add into some of that doom. And if you go on New Life, you can life scroll instead of doom scroll.
I love that. I also think periods of silence are very good. Maybe you make a choice to not turn on anything in the car, that just use your drive time for quiet time, or go outside for a walk and not have your headphones on. I love that so much, Jacqui.
The Bible encourages us to not set anything before us, to make a covenant with our eyes. And people sometimes think, oh, that's for those bad websites. That's for those bad movies. No. There's so much nowadays out there that's competing for our attention, trying to get our eyes off the Lord. And we're not going to do that at newlife.com or on our YouTube or social media. So you can come spend time with us for sure. But spend time in your Word. Get out your Bible, look through it, read through it. Sometimes we spend so much time on social media and everything else that we just neglect the Word. Don't do that. We're going to be back with your calls. Lisa coming up here on New Life Live.
New Life Ministries saved my completely broken marriage.
No matter how much hurt you've had to face, no marriage is beyond hope. At New Life Ministries Intimacy and Marriage Weekend, licensed counselors will help you rebuild communication skills and renew your commitment to each other.
You're building authentic intimacy, and you're learning how to connect on an emotional and relational level. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how to identify those core patterns that get in the way of good relationship.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 14th to the 16th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
3.5 years later, we're still going strong. I would encourage anybody who's struggling in their marriage to go. They are more effective than anything else we tried.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Thank you so much for listening to us and watching us on New Life. By the way, on YouTube, I should say, please click the like button on YouTube. That essentially tells us that you like our video. But more importantly than that, all those algorithm things that we were kind of talking about a few minutes ago here at the beginning of the program, that will help more people potentially increase the visibility in search results and recommendations. So it's really easy. Just click that like button there on YouTube and subscribe to our channel too. Okay, to the phones we go. Here is Lisa in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hi there, Lisa. Thank you so much for calling today.
Sure. Thank you so much for taking my call. Just have a question. I'm just feel stuck. Like, I've been divorced for 4 years now, a little over 4 years, and I don't know how to get over my ex. Like, I believe he was my soulmate, and, like, I'll never have another, and he was awesome, but he did, kind of in the end, didn't treat me that well or did not nice things. He, lied to me a lot, and just, he didn't stick up for me when my son, he didn't discipline my son when my son was acting up or abusing me, but he, I just believe he was my soulmate, and I don't know how to get over him. How do I heal? And just, like, forget about him? Like, I keep asking God to take him away from my heart, to break the soul ties, but, he's moved on. He has a girlfriend, and, I just, I'm in PA and he's in Georgia, and I think it would take a miracle for us to get back together. And I just don't want to think about it. I just don't want to miss him. I just don't want to love him. And I don't know how. I'm just stuck, and it's just bad. Like, I hate it, and I don't know what to do. Like,
Lisa, have you done any therapy and grief work?
Yes, I have. Well, I'm start tonight, in fact, in a grief care group, from church. So tonight's my first night. But I've been in counseling. We broke up at no counselor has been able to help me. And nothing works. Just, I don't know. I just feel like I totally messed up my life because I wasn't, he wanted to divorce me at one point, but he prayed and felt like God put in his heart to give me a second chance because I was sick a lot. I had migraines. I was very fatigued and depressed, and I didn't really cook or clean, and I, was complaining a lot and miserable and witchy, and so he didn't want to put up with that, and so he gave me a chance to change, and I couldn't change because I had migraines every day for 5 months, and I just couldn't, and I just feel like it's the end of the world, and I'm so devastated that I just feel like such a huge failure in this end of the world, and I messed up my life and messed up God's plan, and it's
Lisa,
a really bad thing I did.
Do you know what it reminds me of is if you've ever been on a diet and you say, I'm not going to eat any chocolate. not going to have any chocolate, not going to have any chocolate, not going to have any chocolate. And the more that you do that, that neural pathway is getting dug deeper and deeper in your brain. And right now, that's what's been happening for you with this relationship. The fixation is actually not helping you. Obviously, that's why you're calling us today. And maybe I would think that some trauma work would be helpful with a therapist. I think eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. Your brain is stuck. And whatever was causing the depression and those kind of things, now it's kind of shifted. And it can make sense in the story that you're telling. You know, he left me, I'm heartbroken, the love of my life. Did I, mess everything up forever? But we can disrupt that.
What did you do to mess it up? You said a few times, I ruined everything.
Well, I feel like because I wasn't really a good mother and a good wife because I was sick.
It says him. So you're taking those things that maybe have been said about you, those judgments, and rehearsing them. And so like Becky was saying, you say you don't want to love him, you don't want to think about him, but man, you spend a lot of time and energy loving him and thinking about him. And the only way to not do that is to not do that. So even in therapy, I imagine all of your therapy sessions were mostly about him. When you think about your life, it's about him. When you think about your illness, it's about him. And so for you to change your thoughts have to be about you. And so you have to decide what you want to think about and think about that. You want to decide where you want to go and go there. Whenever that other thought comes in your mind, there's scripture that says for us to take every thought captive. There are thoughts that will flow through your mind. You don't have to follow it. And so it's about changing your rhythm and your own personal thinking. I also wonder what came before him. There is probably some stuff from your past, from your childhood, like you've experienced this need to stay in someone's life or to have someone see you as good and want you and be with you in some other context. Maybe a parent left, or maybe a parent was ill or something, and he's now been attached to it, and you kept calling him your soulmate. But would you have a soulmate who wouldn't love you and care for you when you were sick?
Right.
That's not your soulmate. That's a belief that you have taken on as true, and now you've bound yourself to it. You've made an agreement in the spirit realm that you cannot get away from him, and you cannot release this relationship, and so that's what you're walking out. And if you can get with a good Christian trauma counselor that can do some EMDR with you, but you're going to have to pray to have God to heal your heart and help you choose freedom.
And Lisa, I want you to get your life back. Literally, what do you want to be about? We don't want your life to be about what was lost. If, I've counseled so many people in tragic circumstances where you think their whole life is over because of what happened to them. But becoming an overcomer is a better story. And God is able to do this through the work that you do in a counselor. It doesn't mean that it all gets tied up in a nice little bow, but it is getting your life back on track so that it is not about this person who's already chosen somebody else. And I agree with you, Jacqui. I was trying not to say, amen, sister, preach it, but really, he's not your soulmate if he's not caring for you at a really difficult time in your life. He's not a soulmate if he's not binding with you in parenting. And he's not your soulmate if he's got somebody else. It's real simple, but it's hard to get that healing started, Lisa. We want to get you connected with somebody who can help you.
Yeah, and maybe we can send you a copy of the book, Every Believer's Thought Life, so that you can make sure that your thoughts are centered where they should be. So, Lisa, stay on hold, and we'll get that out to you. Now, we've got lots of great calls, but can I just ask one question really quick? And I'm the new guy here, so I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on this whole soulmate thing. Like, you know, we hear people like Lisa calling in and she feels like she ruined her life because this guy was her soulmate. And I think we all agree that he wasn't. But what are your thoughts on that?
I've been married for almost 37 years, and I kind of struggle with the term soulmate because I think it puts someone in the place of the Holy Spirit in my life. Like, my deepest connection is to God. He's my soulmate. And because I have the deep connection with God, I'm able to work through hard things in my marriage with this other person who also feels like God is his soulmate. And so we are connected through God. And so when things get hard, I look at my husband through God. God, help me to see him how you see him, help me to love him how you love him, and vice versa. And so I really struggle with the term soulmate because I think it's giving too much power to man.
I agree. I think it's a good Hallmark card verse. But I've been married almost 41 years. Same exact story too. Is my soulmate is the Lord, and he gave me my husband, which is fabulous, but my husband also seeks Lord. So it's that terminology to define what that means for you. And for Lisa, if your soulmate is someone who does what he does, that's not a good God for you, you know? And that's what we end up doing is we create a soul connection with somebody who we put in the place of God.
It becomes the idol worship. And I think, like, if we think about the Old Testament, there were lots of times where we heard God say not to connect with this group of people, right? And so, you know, racists might take that and mean that, you know, these two types of people shouldn't be together. But I think what it is if you get into the worship of that people, then you're starting to focus on what they focus on and what's important to them instead of what's important to God. And so I just would say, let God be your soulmate. He's going to love you and guide you. And even when things are hard, he's going to still be there and be support. But you have to get into the word, as you were saying earlier. You have to get into the word to know who he is. And we want to know the person, the body in front of us that is going to, we think, tell us what we want to hear and say the things we want to say, and we can feel them and touch them. But you can't have a better relationship than a relationship of your own, a personal, intimate relationship with God that will guide and direct everything else, and will make the hard places a little more palatable because you have this truth to lean on, rather than this person that is fallible and gonna make mistakes and disappoint. And because God's my soulmate, I have more grace for the mistakes my husband might make, and I can see the good through him. And God gives me wisdom of how and when to bring certain things up to him. And so I would encourage listeners, if you're thinking you have a soulmate, see how that aligns with your relationship with God.
Great advice, ladies. Back to the phones. Here is Sarah in Dallas, Texas, listening on Sirius XM. That's channel 131, Family Talk. Hi there. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Thank you so much. I just want to say, first of all, I thank you for your show. It's very enlightening, and I get a lot of encouragement by listening, and I appreciate it. I am about 53 years old, and I have two grown children who have children. And I was a single parent raising them, and I raised them to live as God would want them to live. But they both have given their life to the Lord early in life. But as adults, I'm struggling because they're not living Christian lives. They're not going to church. They're not getting plugged in. And I've kind of felt guilty. What did I do, Lord? Did I just not show them the right way? But recently, what's bringing all this back to me is my son, who's 26. He's been married about 5 years, and he has a 4-year-old. And the wife and the child suddenly, they live next to me, so I kind of know what goes on. But the wife and the child took a 2-week vacation, and I was like, oh, where'd they go? And when she comes back, the child tells me what really happened, but I just found out that they're in an open marriage. And I did have a talk with them. I told them I didn't feel like this was God's plan for them, that I don't understand how they could be in an open marriage, but that it's ultimately I love them and that I want what's best for them.
So your grandson told you that his mom and dad were...
My granddaughter told me
sorry.
that that they went to this. So this person did come around about 2 years ago, and I said, you need to watch that. He may not have the right intentions, or I noticed something was not quite right with that relationship, and so I approached my son a couple of years ago and said, you need to watch that. I don't know, but I guess my son has lied to me all this time because he knows that I know it. He knows it's wrong. He knows it's wrong, but he's living that way. Mm-hmm. And so now, when the daughter, my granddaughter said that where they went, this gentleman moved to a different state, and I guess the wife and the baby went to visit them.
Okay, so I need to put you on hold, Sarah, because we've come up to a break, so don't hang up. And we've also got Luanne, Vanessa, everyone else who wants to ask your questions today of Becky Brown and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. Stay on the phone right now. We'll get to you in a few minutes here on New Life Live, but we'll come back to Sarah in just a little bit. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you for watching. This is New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. The New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Embark on your journey of personal growth and self-discovery in April with a New Life course. Lose It for Life, Grief Recovery, or Divorce Recovery. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back. Thank you so much for joining us today on the program. And right before the break, we were speaking to Sarah in Dallas, Texas. And what advice would you have for Sarah?
Well, I hear your heart, Sarah, and your confusion and dismay. But I also heard some guilt or some shame, as though somehow you did something wrong in their making this choice. And I would release yourself from that. Like, you're just not that powerful. Like, that wasn't on you. If you raised your child up to go to church and to read the Bible and prayed with them, I think you set them in the right direction. But then the Bible talks about coming to an age of understanding and getting to the place where we are making our own decisions. And so he's, for whatever reason, chosen to be okay with this. And I think that now it's a good time for you to grieve. There's not really much for us to say or do about what the choices that he's made in his marriage. But for your part, getting with a good Christian counselor, getting in a group, getting with someone where you can process your heartbreak for this, and also just maybe educate yourself a little bit on what's gone on in his thinking, like just being open and curious with him as to how he landed here and what his perspective is. People have varying perspectives on sex and sexuality, and sometimes as Christians we have a very hard time listening to something that doesn't align with our views, but you want to know what your child is thinking even when they're thinking something you disagree with. And so I would just be open and curious. That doesn't mean you're in agreement or cahoots with choices that you disagree with, but if you want to know what he's thinking, then try to find out what he's thinking instead of trying to tell him what to think, because he's already made his decisions. And but I would definitely find counselor for yourself to be able to process through this.
So, Sarah, when we went to the break, I told Jacqui and Brian, I was like, I just got to take a minute because I'm feeling the weight of what you're carrying right now, because it's right in front of you. You're so sad. My concern goes towards the child that's in the relationship for lots of different reasons, but agree with what Jacqui has said. And can I just say that the term open marriage is an oxymoron. I mean, the whole point of marriage is to be committed to one another and forsaking all others. This is, that's the directive. And so this is why this is so confusing. I also, you said right before the break that your son had talked to you about, this a little bit in the last couple of years. Is that what I heard?
So no, he has not talked to me about that. I noticed this man coming around and talked to him and said, you need to, watch out. I don't think he has the best intentions. I feel something's wrong there. He didn't tell me at that time. So 2 years have gone by. The man comes and goes. He just visits, from what I was told, that he's just a friend, a platonic friend, from what I was told. And then this last month, he moved to a different state, and she and the child went to go visit him, and they didn't tell me about it, but the child told me about it. So then I confronted them, and I said, because I'm not going to just. To the child, I just said, "Oh, you got to go on a plane." She told me about the plane and everything. Oh, well, that sounds so nice. Where did you sleep when you were there? And of course she's going to tell me. And well, where did Mommy sleep? And of course she's going to tell me. So, and then I just left it with her, and then approached the mom and dad, my son and his wife, and said, because at first I thought maybe she just decided to leave him, and that's what happened, but. No, he's known about this, and he knows. He hasn't talked to me about it, obviously, but he knows it's wrong, and that's why he didn't want to tell me.
What was their response, Sarah, when you talked to them?
So, the wife basically, because I told them both, I said, I don't see how you can be in this relationship that you got married before God, you made a promise to each other, and still believe that God, Jesus is the Son of God, and that he died for your sin, and that you would purposefully be in this relationship. So she proceeds to tell me that she doesn't necessarily believe in God. And that she believes in God, but she's not necessarily think that Jesus is the only way. Right. And so I'm just giving them scripture. I know my son knows, but for her, and she has said that she was saved before, so I don't know. I don't know if they're just lying to me or what. All I know is that I feel like my response is to love them and to tell them that I think it's wrong, and that I did pray with them and ask them to recommit themselves to each other and to really ask God what they think is right, because they know that God's going to tell them this is wrong.
You're on the right path, Sarah. We've fielded so many calls, not just on this topic, but about how adult children make their own decisions, and it confounds the parents. And what Jacqui said is right. You could have been the best mom ever, 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 and they still make this choice. Mm-hmm. And you're called to love. And if they know where you stand, you don't have to beat that dead horse, but begin to pray. I agree with Jacqui too about, getting this process going where you can work this out, because it's painful. It's painful what you're watching. And also, I would encourage you to share your concerns about the safety of the girl, the granddaughter. I don't know about this other guy. I don't know any of that, but it's just we want to make good decisions, even when we're not looking like we're making good decisions.
For sure. Thanks for listening to New Life Live. We're going to take a break. Luanne, Vanessa, we are going to get to you when we come back on the program.
New Life Ministries saved my completely broken marriage.
No matter how much hurt you've had to face, no marriage is beyond hope. At New Life Ministries Intimacy and Marriage Weekend, licensed counselors will help you rebuild communication skills and renew your commitment to each other.
You're building authentic intimacy, and you're learning how to connect on an emotional and relational level. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how to identify those core patterns that get in the way of good relationship.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 14th to the 16th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
3.5 years later, we're still going strong. I would encourage anybody who's struggling in their marriage to go. They are more effective than anything else we tried.
Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Luanne in Knoxville, Tennessee, we're going to talk to you in just a moment, but first want to let you guys know about some New Life online courses that are coming up starting April 7th. There's one called Every Young Man's Battle. We always talk about the Every Man's Battle intensive. Now there's going to be an Every Young Man's Battle online course. Becky Brown, who is this course for? Why was it created? What is it about, etc.?
It is for men ages 18 to 25. We did some research and discovered that that age group is being challenged with their sexual integrity, and we wanted to provide a way for them to, get some help. And a lot of them were not able, willing, whatever, to take a weekend and do that. But they were interested in a 12-week course, which is what this is, 12-week course, Every Young Man's Battle, helping men deal with sexual integrity. And, if you are of that age group, or if you know somebody in that age group, a man who maybe porn has gotten a hold of their life, maybe multiple sexual partners, just whatever the struggle is, that it's not God's way for their sexual integrity to be expressed. We want to help them in these early years. And so that's why we created it, and we're really excited to offer it.
You can get more details about it at newlife.com or by calling us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Again, it begins April 7th. To the phones now, here is Luanne in Knoxville, Tennessee. First-time caller, it says here. Thank you, Luanne, for calling in today.
Hi, how are y'all?
Doing well, thanks.
Good.
So what's your situation?
Well, I just don't even know where to start. I'm 56 years old. I was married at 21 years old, and my husband, after 25 years, passed away by suicide. And it was a domestic violence. About the last 10 years of that was domestic violence. But then after that, I'm a born-again Christian, and I was in church. About 7 months after he passed away, got married. I got remarried, and that marriage I thought was not like the first time, you know. It was, we had a lot in common. We were both in the same health field and stuff like that. And anyway, about 5 years into the marriage, it was just like their roommate. I mean, it was getting worse and worse. But we were going to church together, and that's about it. And so I was Googling one day, married but alone, because that's exactly how I felt. And a lot of losses. This was the year 2020. I did confide in my brother, my eldest brother, and he retired and moved up here from Florida, but he got COVID, and about 6 weeks later he had passed away once he got up here. So he was the only one that knew. But I didn't tell you what I found out. Early 2020, right around my birthday, around May. I never went through his phone or anything, but we were headed to my brother's, me and my sister and my husband together, and he was talking about getting me a kind of expensive gift for my birthday, and I'm like, no. And so I grabbed his phone. He was driving, grabbed his phone out of his hand, and I seen some apps that I wasn't sure exactly what they were. Well, once we got to my brother's, I took his phone in the bathroom and found out that he had been hooking up with strange same-sex. And actually, I didn't lose it. The Holy Spirit was with me. I was in shock. I don't even know what I did. I can't even remember. It's like I had a blackout. But 3 days later, on my birthday, he's like, don't you like what I got you, you know? I said, I need you to come to the kitchen table. And so he came in there. I slid him a piece of paper and a pen. I says, I want names, places, and dates because I've been contacted and I know all of them. Well, I didn't know anything, just one chat summary that I had read where you can go on this app and hook up like immediately. Like if you're out to lunch with your wife, you can hook up in the bathroom or wherever you want to. It was awful.
Wow.
So anyway, he took the bait and he wrote down 3 names, 3 places, and my home was one of them. And so...
Leanne, yes. Because we're going to be limited on time and I want to give you some help. Are you still with your husband, and what process did you go through?
No.
Okay.
No, I tried. We went through Come to the Table Ministries. He was going to do a full disclosure and polygraph and stuff, but it got down to where it was time for the polygraph. And the night before we went to the marriage counselor, I got on his phone. I found a bunch of fresh stuff, like from the day before. So I filed for divorce. We were divorced in 2021.
Wow.
In March 21.
So how are you doing now?
Know. I'm just lost. I'm not good. I just don't know. I've been seeing a counselor. I just don't feel like I'm either I'm not asking the right questions. I know there's depression. I never could have children. I had 3 miscarriages. I'm alone. I have one. I was raised with 5 brothers and sisters. I have 1 brother left alive. All my family has passed on. So I don't even know. I don't know.
So here's the thing. Sometimes we can be with a counselor, and counselors are good. We believe in counseling. Obviously we are. And we might need to make a change. And it's not because the counselor isn't good or that you're not asking the right questions. It can be because you need different type of work. You've experienced a lot of trauma just in the story, just in the little bit of your story that you've told us. also you need people around you to, help you along this path. But we will get you connected with somebody, not because, again, I just want to say, not because your counselor's bad or because you're not asking the right questions. You need different type of help.
Yeah, sometimes we get stuck even in our therapy work and you're not moving forward. And so it would be helpful for you to maybe try a different type of work, maybe something more direct like EMDR, where you can really target some of these traumas. You said you were in a domestic violence relationship and then that husband died by suicide. And then you marry someone else that you meet at church. And then this is a marriage that lacks intimacy. And it feels like we're in a roommate situation, only to find out that he's hooking up with men regularly. There is a lot there for you to unpack. And then I heard you say your brother died of COVID. And so you've lost siblings as well. And all of this, you need to do some deep, intensive work on the trauma. And you said you're depressed. There may have been depression happening for a long period of time, and that can be really hard to shake. And so it's probably a time for a good change with your therapist and some deep grief work as well.
Yeah, we can. And actually, Luanne, you could join us in the next go around with the grief recovery course, but also we can get you connected with somebody who maybe can specialize in the trauma treatment. There is hope. There is hope, Luanne.
Yes. There's just a lot of grief.
I was starting to wonder.
I know it's so hard.
I just have one thing to say is the person who helped me through the most of this is Jesus, of course. Mm-hmm. But my sister, Robin, she passed away last year of breast and bone cancer. Mm-hmm. And I was her primary caregiver. We were both nurses. I'm no longer able to work. So there is
Luanne, we're going to get
when I hear you say it.
Well, we know that there is hope. We're going to send you a copy of Healing is a Choice as well, which I think can help you, but we want you to get connected with good help. We'll be praying for you too, Luanne.
For sure. Luanne, thank you for calling in today and for sharing your heart with us. We know it wasn't easy, but we're hoping that these resources that, which book did you say, Becky, we were going to send?
Healing is a Choice.
Healing is a Choice. Yeah, and there's lots of other resources available too at newlife.com, including the Intimate Deception book and also Rescued. There's also the Restore Healing After Betrayal intensive that you might want to attend.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah, it's coming up in May in Dallas, Texas. You can find out all about it at newlife.com. Scholarships are available in case you can't, if you think it's something that would benefit you, but you're not sure if you could afford it, we can try to help you with that. But you got to call and let us know about that at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com to find out more as well. We're going to take a break and then we'll be back with, Vanessa has been holding. We're going to go to you in just a little bit, Vanessa, so don't hang up. Thank you all so much for listening to New Life Live and for watching us as well on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget, you can follow us on social media. Just go to the bottom of our page at newlife.com and you can get the icons there. Click on the icons to follow us on social media. We'll be right back.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you're a regular listener of New Life Live, thank you so much. You know firsthand all the people that we help on this program. Would you help us by becoming a Club New Life member? There are many ways that we say thank you. A Club New Life member is someone who comes alongside what we do with a monthly financial gift, and it helps us with all the resources that we have, not just the radio program, not just the different podcasts we do, the intensives, the videos on our library online. There is so much going on, and you can help us. Get all the details at newlife.com. We're hoping to get 5 new Club New Life members every day. You can be one of them right now. Call us up at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com or text us for more information. Text the word NLM. Well, NLM is not a word. It's 3 letters, but you can text the letters NLM to, I lost it here. It's 28950, I believe. I'm saying that off the top of my head.
Yes, that's correct.
I was right.
Yes.
Text NLM to 28950.
You've been here long enough, Brian.
I guess so,
yes, you know it.
Yay. Pat myself on the back. Okay.
Yes.
To Vanessa we go. Vanessa listening in Murrieta, California on Sirius XM, channel 131. Thank you, Vanessa, for calling in today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you holding.
Oh, thank you. So basically, I've been working at my job for over a year, and it recently got bought out by a big old corporate company. And lately, I've been battling with the decision if I should leave or not, just because the atmosphere is completely different, and it's not what it used to be, and it's just really different. And I don't know if I should leave and look for another job or not.
So you've been at this job for 1 year. Is it in a line of work that you've been doing for a while, or is it fairly new?
It's fairly new. It's I've been with it over a year. It was a year in November, and it's like a warehouse job.
Okay.
So it's a new environment.
Vanessa, does it serve your purposes? Pay your bills? Is it close to the house? What are other things about the job that would make you want to stay?
Well, mostly just because it does that. It does, it's really good money because I got promoted and stuff. I worked my way up, and I can't think of anything else, honestly, just because it's so different from what it used to be. A big part of it is the reason it would get to the point where I would be excited the weekends to be over, so I can go back to my job. And now It's like I'm getting, that's how much I loved it.
What was it about it that you loved?
I looked for who I worked for, and I just felt like I actually was needed and essential in the company, you know. And now that it's been bought out, I just feel like I'm a nobody, and I don't really contribute, and people aren't how they used to be, and just a lot of new faces and stuff like that aren't as kind as the ones that were there before, you know. And it's just kind of a more anxiety and filled environment than the kind of environment that you're just like, oh, you know, I'm here because I want to be here, not because I have to be, you know.
So I'm big on personal power and responsibility. And so it seems like part of what you loved about the job was something outside of yourself, like the way people made you feel when you got there. And now that there's been a change in ownership, the people who are now the new owners don't make you feel that way anymore. One, I would say if there's nothing insidious or dangerous or abusive happening, that this might just be transition pain. They have to figure out who you all are, and you all have to figure out who they are. There's new systems in place that might not be as comfortable as what you were used to before. So you had a year of getting comfortable, and now something's changed, and that always creates a bit of dissonance in us, and it's uncomfortable. But if there's nothing other than I don't feel as happy about coming here anymore as I used to when I was getting the accolades and the thank yous, you might want to wait it out a bit. It's good pay. And I also say if you're going to leave a job, it's easier to find a job while you have a job. So you do what you're doing until you can do what you want to do. So I wouldn't quit the job and then go find another job. If you want to leave that job, start looking for another job so that you have some place to transition to, rather than giving up a good paying job, because it doesn't make you feel as happy as it once did when it was owned by other people. And think about, has the mission changed? You said it, you used to feel like you were doing something good in the world. Now you feel like you're a nobody. That's a personal power thing. I think also considering connecting with a good therapist to help you work through your own self-esteem stuff could help, and so that you don't leave the job that pays your bills and helps take care of you, but you actually go do some work on what's going on inside.
Yeah, Vanessa, sometimes when change comes, like what you just experienced, you also are at the 1 year mark, meaning that the honeymoon phase may be over too. Like it's all of these things converging. But I wonder if you, going along with what Jacqui's saying about being empowered, maybe connect with the next in line, whoever your manager is or your director is, and say, hey, I know we're in a new way and a new way of doing things, but one of the things that we enjoyed before was recognizing when people did something. It could be part of your own growth process. Who knows if you're going to be there longer, but you could help them have a better workplace. So it may be something that you take a step into your own empowerment for the betterment of other people. One of the hard things about work is it's work. And, so I love that you had the experience of looking forward to going, to recognizing the mission. And I think that you are a benefit to the new organization if you can speak into that, not from a defensive standpoint, not I'm done with this place and I'm going to go find something else. It's literally, you may make a huge impact for the betterment of your coworkers, of the new organization. And also, while, like Jacqui just said, it's easier to find a job when you got one, and it looks better to a new employer when you can make the statement, well, I wasn't out of work for 5 years. I just wanted to have a different experience. So I hope that helps.
That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Vanessa, do you have any hobbies? What do you do on the weekends and things? I'm asking because sometimes people get so wrapped up in their work that that's all they ever... Do you make time for yourself on the weekends? Do you, drive down to the beach or go up to the mountains? Or what's life like for you?
Honestly, I haven't done anything like that. I have been kind of too focused on my job, honestly.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Good insight. Way to go, Brian.
Yeah, she did. You mentioned that you used to want to rush the weekend to be over so you could get back to work. Well, maybe now take some time on the weekends for that self-care and decompress and focus on yourself a little bit.
Yeah, let's send her a copy of Changes That Heal, because I think that could give her some insight into this process. But we're looking forward to hearing back from you, Vanessa.
Yes, she will call us back in a few weeks with a praise report, and we can't wait to hear it. Vanessa, thanks for calling in today. Stay on hold. We'll send you a copy of that book. And something else that we have available that might help you is a tip sheet that's called 10 Tips for Dealing with Difficult People. So if you're in a new work environment and some of those faces that you see every day are not as friendly as the ones that used to be there, then maybe this tip sheet can help. We'll send that to you. Vanessa, anybody else who wants to order this tip sheet, again, it's called 10 Tips for Dealing with Difficult People, and we will send that to you when you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We are just about out of time on today's program. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching as well. Don't forget all of the intensives that we've got coming up. The Intimacy and Marriage Intensive happening February 14th weekend in Orange County. The Every Man's Battle Intensive, February 28th in Orange County. The Restore Healing After Betrayal Intensive happening in May in Dallas, Texas. And the New Life Online courses, those begin in April online at newlife.com. Lots of courses that are going to be offered beginning April 7th. You can learn all about them there at newlife.com. God bless you guys. We thank you so much for listening and for watching today. And we'll talk to you next time on New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video? And please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE. But when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.